a blessed Saturday to us. Scholars always call this gospel, or together with the other two parables, of the lost. No? The lost coin, the lost sheep, and then the lost son. There are also many other titles given to this. No? It's not just the prodigal son, but the prodigal father as well. Precisely because prodigality is wasting. No? Kanang nag-usik-usik ba? Mausik-usikon nga anak, pero ang amahan po mausik-usikon sa iyang gugma. But among other things, there is a very tiny detail that must be taken into account in this very beautiful parable, which is called the gospel within a gospel within the gospel. This is where the young man, one of the two, the younger as it is said, who asked his father to be given already the share of the estate that belongs to him. Now what about that? It's just normal. After all, anak man na siya. Now some people would say, this is something to do with paniguro, nga naman, if there are two sons and the father is going to divide the property, 2/3 will always go to the eldest and only 1/3 to the second son. That if there are two. But if they are 5 or 4 or more, the 1/3 will be divided by the rest, while the 2/3 would go to the elder brother. But it happens only at the death or after the death of the father. And so what is the significance here? That this son was not just simply asking for the property that belongs to him. It was too early to do it. That's why a very important scholar, I remember him, I think he was part of the teaching professors, no? While I was studying. Niyon siya nga, this is not just simply asking in advance. This is also a curse. No? Iyang gitunglo ang iyang amahan. And by asking for what belongs to him while the father was still alive, it was something like, uy, mamatay na ka para makuha na nako ako ang maangkon. So this is the cursing dimension of the son. And what does the cursing effect is? He wanted to, or he really detached himself from the father. No, self-sufficiency, self-importance, and actually detaching from God. And that is something that is very serious, especially if we consider the season of Lent. Because sin and offenses from the Lord detaches us from God. It is as if we are the only ones, or we are the king of our lives. No? It is totally independent from God, which is not a good thing. That's the reason why, just this little bit, we are already reminded that whatever sin or offense we commit is always a detachment from the Lord. And so we have to ask for forgiveness in order to be reconciled. Just as this very son also realized what it means to be detached from the Father. There is famine, there is so many things that is happening. And only God can provide and can welcome us back. Who was not just even waiting for his son to return. Dugay na daing nagpaabot ang amahan. No? He was already looking ahead, looking forward. And when he saw the son coming, he moved. No? He made the first move. And he embraced the son. So this is something that we have to take into account into our lives and into the very disciplines that we do during Lent. It is our way of going back home to the Father. It is a remarkable acceptance of our dependence to God, despite our way of making things independently also. Kaya naman tayo freedom. But what is important is we have to always acknowledge that without God, as it says, we can do nothing. Amen.